Well, we're back again with another interesting interview with a gentleman I just met today for the first time. But this is the voices of the
Green River Adventures in the Gorge.
Green River Adventures in the Gorge?
And the Gorge.
Okay. This is Tim Bell. And Tim, you're busy. You're just getting ready for a big season here, and we're encroaching on your time. But we're doing this to bring to the people of the world, because we think big here in Polk County, don't we?
We do. We're small, but we impact the world.
Well, you mentioned that word world. Since moving here about 4 years ago, Tim, I have found that it's a small dot on the map, but we're the crossroads of the world.
Right, it's a great community. I love living in.
Okay. Good. Let's tell people about your business. And you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I consider myself an operational person. My wife Sarah is really the natural entrepreneur of the partnership.
In other words, are you saying she's the brains of the outfit?
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that.
Well, you both work very hard, and it's great to see young people like you who are taking, and you're really taking a chance. You've got your future depending on what you're doing now. When did you come up with the idea for the Green River Adventures?
Sarah started Green River Adventures in 2006 in September, and she started it from a small kayak construction company called Pisgah Whitewater, and expanded it immediately to incorporate. It was just whitewater kayak construction, and then immediately she added retail and inflatable kayak trips.
In other words, these are things that she was selling, kayaks and inflatable material and things of this sort.
Right, kayaks and kayaking gear, things that supported recreational kayaking. And then she started adding tours for tourists.
Well, where was this taking place?
And this was in Saluda at a different location than we're at now.
Okay. Are you both imports from someplace else?
Right. I'm from Pensacola, Florida, and Sarah's from Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, great. So, and one question I ask most of our guests who are kind enough to give me some airtime here is, why here?
Polk County, really, it's the Green River brought us here. We've been kayaking the Green River since I was a kid coming to camp, and Sarah and I both started at Brevard College as transfers in 2000. And we came here because of the kayaking. The kayaking is phenomenal in Western North Carolina, in particular here in Polk County with the Green River Narrows.
So you picked it for its availability for developing the plans that you had in mind for what you're doing now.
Right. That's what brought us specifically to Saluda.
Yeah. And this was how many years ago?
2006 is when we moved here.
And how have you found? How have you been received? Are you getting, with the internet and so forth, I'm sure you're advertising far and wide, and we're hoping that we maybe can bring in some adventurers through the media of the Tryon Daily Bulletin and these little interviews. Has it turned out to be as good as you expected it to be at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. The community has welcomed us tremendously.
That's a secret.
Yeah. And we grow every year. And we're a really healthy business. We're proud of what we've built.
Well, you should be, because it looks like from all I've read about you, you're expanding greatly, and you have a new project in mind now. I was calling it a zap line. It's a zip line?
That's right. It's a zip line. Our particular style of zipline tour is commonly known as a canopy tour.
Say that again.
It's commonly known as a canopy tour.
Canopy tour. Okay.
And the idea of the canopy tour is that you're actually zipping through natural trees, and so you're on tree-based platforms, so platforms that are built high up in the tree, and you're zipping above, below, and through the canopy.
It's kind of like Tarzan.
Just like Tarzan.
With ropes.
Yeah, right, with ropes and modern pulleys and braking systems and new technology.
Well, and you're doing that right here in the Saluda area, right?
That's right here in Saluda. A lot of people miss the edge of the gorge in Saluda. If you're driving on I-26 or you're getting off I-26 and coming into Saluda, you don't know that you're a quarter mile away from the rim of one of the prettiest places in North Carolina, the Green River Gorge.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we actually bought a piece of property that is about 120 acres, 125 acres, and it starts at the top of the gorge, the rim of the gorge, and it drops 1,100 feet down to the river, essentially.
Ends up down on the Green River.
Yep, down on the Green River.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
And that's where the canopy tour is being built.
Okay, you must have quite a crew to do something because you're going through nature's growth of many, many years to put this in. I mean, do you have much of a crew that is helping you? You have to do some clearing? You would have to clear some, I'm sure.
Right, there is minimal clearing,
Yeah.
and essentially, unless a trunk lands in the middle of the line, which the lines are even placed to miss spectacular trees, but very few trees will come down. Mostly it's just limbing and clearing to kind of clear a tunnel, a 12-foot tunnel through the canopy. A lot of the zip lines will actually leave the canopy because you're going from a high ridge to a high ridge, but in between drops out from under you. And so you're entering the canopy, you're leaving the canopy, you're and everywhere in between.
How many men would you have doing this? This sounds like a lot of work.
Right. So workforce. Well, we're having a construction company actually place the lines.
You're creating jobs.
We are creating jobs.
Yeah.
In fact, we've hired 25 new people this year, and one of our jokes right now is that we've hired 7 native Saludians. And that just so happens to be about 1% of the population of Saluda.
Well, we're a small dot on the map, but we certainly get things done here. And the fact you're creating jobs, and you will always, as you continue, I'm sure you will continue to grow. There will be other things you'll develop aside from this. Let's talk about anyone interested in doing some of this zip lining. When is that going to be finished?
The zipline tour, of course, construction can be a moving target, but we are on schedule for a mid-May opening. Our staff training is actually scheduled for the 6th through the 9th, and that's our round 1 of staff training. We can't train everybody at the same time, so we'll have a second tier right after that, and then we'll open immediately to the public as soon as possible. But it's looking like mid-May is a very reasonable date.
And people who are coming in from distances, there are accommodations here, as I understand, all around the area for them. You want to mention anything about where they stay? If they contact you, do you refer them, or how does that work?
Right. We on greenriveradventures.com, which is our current website for Green River Adventures, which is the whitewater end of things. There we have an accommodations page, which is kind of piggybacked on our visitors page. So you can find the visitors page, go to that, and then see accommodations that we recommend. There are a lot of. There's one motel. There are many inns in Saluda. There's lots of bed and breakfasts, and then there's lots of cabin rentals. Whether it's VRBO or like Cabin Fever down the road, which is actually a place that I stayed at 25 years ago when I came to camp.
You came to camp here, and that's what started.
Right.
Yeah.
That is what started my love for the mountains, is going to Camp Carolina in Brevard as a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, this sounds so exciting. We have also nearby facilities in Tryon and so forth, which is just down the 176. I came up from Tryon this morning, and it's like a corkscrew coming up here. And I kept thinking, I'm going to be in the clouds any minute. But it's breathtaking. Pearson Falls, another stop. There's so many other things to see here when they get through flying through the trees. But and you, of course, would have these are very safe from what I've seen in pictures and videos of this swinging through the tree type thing. But they're safe even for people who are kind of acrophobic. right?
Right. Now, it's normal for everybody to have a fear of heights.
You have a fear of getting in front of people, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I'm very shy. Now, don't laugh, but I am. But we're just talking to each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
If someone happens to listen in, that's fine.
It's normal for people to have a fear of heights,
Yeah.
and that varies. That's a continuum. I can't think of anybody that's not afraid of a little bit out of ease when they're up high. But zipline canopy tours, today in 2013 is a really well established business. They've got or industry. They've got standards. They've got governing bodies.
Do you have someone come in and inspect these before you can open?
Absolutely. The Canopy Tour construction company is an ACCT registered vendor, and that's the the Association of Challenge Course Technology, and they set standards for the industry here.
Well, it would have to be regulated, wouldn't it? I mean, you couldn't have someone just putting a bunch of swings in the trees, and it's good safety for the public and protects you.
Right. And states and federal governments.
They get in on it, don't they?
Well, they're starting to. It's becoming a much bigger industry, and they're starting to voice their opinion.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of an ongoing evolution right now.
Well, we need to have regulations to a degree, but we don't want the government to come in and absolutely run our lives completely. But in your case, it's a safety feature for you to have them with regulations and people that are professionals in helping you establish your little zip line.
Right. The last thing you want is for people to set up zip lines that aren't safe and injure people and kind of ruin the activity or at least the reputation of the activity. Yeah. However, you also don't want the government coming in and setting so many regulations that it becomes kind of cost prohibitive.
Yeah. It's happened a lot, but we won't go into that conversation today. We're here just to talk about. So if there anything, I know you have a date, and I'm going to close this off in a minute, but anything that you would like for the people to know about your business that I haven't covered?
Well, I think we pride ourselves on giving phenomenal customer service. And we really concentrate on having great facilities. But kind of the heart and soul is that we are adventurers, and we pride ourselves in providing real adventure for people. I mean, these are not...
Safely.
Yeah, safely, absolutely. But they're real experiences. They're not contrived experiences. And a lot of things get kind of dulled in today's
society.
Risk management that businesses have to have to create, and in this Sue Happy world that we're in. But we really try to provide real adventures safely, and we're in a playground that is very underutilized and underappreciated. The Green River Gorge is a phenomenal place.
It's rapidly becoming known, and we're glad for that. You still don't feel, though, that you're crowded when you're here. There's wide open spaces, beautiful skies, beautiful landscaping. One of the most beautiful spots. I'm not bragging when I say this, but I've lived in other parts of the country as far away as Puerto Rico, which was tropical and very beautiful. But this is one of the most beautiful spots. I mean, just to sit and look at Mother Nature and undisturbed. You're putting a business in, but you're not bothering Mother Nature. And is there one thing I wonder? Families. This is a family thing. And before we close down, is there an age limit or a minimum age limit for your zip line?
Right. We have a lot of trips that have different restrictions. Okay. The zip line, in particular, is minimum age of 10.
Okay.
And even more importantly, it's a weight range of 70 pounds to 250 pounds. Okay. And that's a safety issue.
Yeah, okay. I think I could come in between there, as long as you don't put an age limit on it.
That's right. We definitely do not have an upper end age limit.
Do you have many older people who are trying this?
There are actually quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have on our whitewater trips. We've had people in the 80s do our high adventure trip. The Upper
I've never been on a rafting thing of that sort. I was across the river from some Great White River rafting in West Virginia, and I've never done that. But for my next birthday, I'll have my family give me a birthday present of maybe a rafting trip. Or I think that zip line sounds real fascinating.
Well, we'd love to have you. And as long as you can conquer, a fear of heights, then it is a phenomenally fun thing to do.
It's just the people I'm in front of, so there wouldn't be anyone looking at me. I just hate to get up in front of a group of people. That sounds odd, but you know what I mean.
Right. We'll make everybody go to the other side of the building when you zip.
Oh. Inside the building or outside the building?
Well,
because I'm going to be out in the woods, so there won't be many things looking at me but the birds.
Well, the first zip line actually leaves from our porch.
Oh, okay. Well, I could do that and make everyone go in the house.
Exactly. We'll just send everybody to the other side of the property, and then off you go.
Well, I don't want to make you late for your date, so if you've got any last word to say, I'm going to close down here in a minute. So any last word?
No, just thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you because we're wanting to spread the word of what a great place we have. And for young people like Tim Bell, and your wife's name is?
Sarah.
Sarah. Oh, I almost named my daughter Sarah.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty name.
Oh, I love it. But anyway, I named her Lynn, which is also kind of nice, I think. But anyway, for you and Sarah, I just wish you all the luck in the world with this. And as an entrepreneur, you're hiring people, you're creating jobs, and you're also bringing attention to one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's just gorgeous here in Polk County, North Carolina. And we would like for you to go on site and your website again.
Is greenriveradventures.com or thegorgezipline.com.
Okay. And they can get all the information they need from that. And we hope that this will attract some attention. Maybe we've had inquiries from the Daily Bulletin from the Netherlands wanting a copy of the world's smallest daily newspaper. And so you may have people. One quick question. Have you had anyone from out of the country that has contacted you about this?
I'd have to think for a little bit.
Okay.
We've certainly hosted plenty of international people at Green River Adventures.
Anyone that you would never expect to find here that people would recognize the name?
We have had Stephen Colbert's brother.
Oh, the Nut.
Yeah, Stephen Colbert the Nut on from TV. Yep.
A nice nut.
And apparently his name is Colbert and not Colbert.
Oh, really? You found that out? Well, did he took the zip line? Or the rafting?
He went on a whitewater trip with his family,
okay.
And we've had some NFL players and I'm sure other people that just flew under the radar.
Well, I think too people like that, like Perry Como had a home here, I think near Saluda, and because people appreciate their privacy. They don't interfere with them. They can go out in town and have a cup of coffee with the locals and no one bothers them. And that's what's nice about it. Everyone is down to earth here and they don't make a big deal out of someone special being here. But you and Sarah are special people, and I want to thank you for letting me have some of your time, Tim Bell. And again, I want to thank the Tryon Daily Bulletin for allowing us to do this. I'm having a lot of fun with all of you people that are setting up business here and come from all over the place. And again, thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, Deanie.